You have a secret to share with me?
Yo, what's going on here, Clash Call? Welcome back to a brand new video. Yes, the very first due diligence video of 2024 with 2 beast skins remaining, one being Avi. And we're deep diving into Avi, the Firefox spirits.
You have a secret to share with me?
Of course. You are a warrior and in the beast skin faction. Okay, first things first, let's deep dive into our core skill numero uno. We have his Foxfire Strike. Why don't we just call it Firefox Strike? You know, Foxfire doesn't flow smooth, you know, just doesn't. Avi consumes all stacks of Foxfire and attacks the first enemy in the same column 3 times. Remember that, the first enemy in the same column 3 times. Each dealing 120% of attack as damage and triggering additional attack for each Foxfire stack. If the attack targets a unit in the back row, it will trigger a Foxfire explosion at the end, dealing 300% attack as damage to all units in the back row. Passive skill. Avi attacks enemies in the same column first. Yes, column is vertical. Vertical, up and down. So if you're in the middle, then she's only going to target the middle until they are deceased, and then she'll go elsewhere, left or right. So, level 2, the damage of each strike is increased to 150% of attack, and the damage to the Foxfire explosion is increased to 450% attack damage. Woo, man! Level 3, oh, this is going to be a lot. The damage of each strike is 200% of attack, and the Foxfire explosion is increased to 600% attack damage. 600. What? Yo. All I gotta say is Avi plus back row plus any good heroes that target the front row is a great combination. That's all I'm gonna say. And y'all already know, say it with me. Attack, attack, attack. Yes. Moving on to our second core skill we have is Alien Fire. So weird. Alien Fire, that's what they call it. Alien Fire. Hero Clash, what are y'all doing up there? What are y'all doing across the sea, yo? What are y'all doing? Each time the enemy in the opposite front row takes damage, there is 50% chance to gain 1 stack Foxfire for up to 15 stacks. Each stack of Foxfire ignores 5% of the target's armor. So with that being said, 15 times 5, of course, is 75%. So by the time she gets 15 Foxfires, which is actually quite easy once we get to her main skills and her gear skill, which you'll see in a few minutes. So that means if she's ignoring target armor, you really don't need to focus on her armor that much or her armor penetration that much because of Alien Fire. They should just call it Incineration. That'd been cool. You know, Incineration, level 2. Increase the chance to 70%, and level 3, increase the chance to 100%. Oh, baby, let's go. Okay. Moving on to good old basic Foxfire Blink. Regular attack launches 3 fireballs at the first enemy in the same column, each dealing 200% attack as damage. Woo! Let's go. So, she's targeting that first person in the same column. What's so amazing about her, you get to pick and choose who you want to target, if you know your enemy. Okay? Level 2. During the game, for each enemy that Avi kills, the number of fireballs launched by her normal attacks increased by 1. Level 3. Damage of fireballs increased to 300% attack damage. Jeez Louise. Level 4, which is 9 legendary red relics. For each enemy that Avi kills, the number of fireballs launched by her regular attacks increases by 2. Woof. Just saying. Moving on to her final is Fox Blessing. At the start of each turn, don't you just say Avi? At the start of each turn, Avi gains a bonus of 0.3% damage reduction for each 1% armor penetration and a shield equaling 100% attack plus 3% max HP. These effects last for 1 turn. We'll do the math at the end of the blessing, which is level 4 or level 3. Level 2, damage reduction gain increases to 0.4%, shield increases 200 and then plus 6% max HP. Level 3, damage reduction is 0.5% and shield increases to 300% attack and plus 9% max HP. Increases the damage of all allies to front row enemies by 25%. Ooh, okay. Level 2 is not bad. Level 3 is amazing. Level 4, which is 3 red legendary relics. Damage reduction gained increases to 0.6. We're not doing math, never mind. And shield increases to 400% attack plus 12% max HP, and which is 3 red relics. Okay, so with that being said, going back to Alien Fire really quick, she can only have 15 stacks of fireballs, Foxfire, and each one ignores 5% target armor, which means the math adds up to 75%, which we go back to this, and then we have to do some math. 75%, and then she gains an increase of 0.5 damage reduction, just pretty much divided by 2. 75 divided by 2 is 37.5, I believe. 37.5 damage reduction when she gains 15 stacks and launches those 15 stacks. Not bad. Okay. The math hurts my head, but geez Louise. Okay, cool. So, moving on to her Awakening skill, which we still have to get. In the first 2 turns of the battle, increase armor penetration by 30% and armor by 30%. Let's go, too easy. And now moving on to her good old gear skill, Blazing Foxfire. Have a 10% chance to gain a stack of Foxfire with an enemy on the front row, but different column receives damage. Now we're getting into the facts where she's gaining Foxfire when other enemies take damage. So different column, but the same row, which is the front row. So it would be cool to have heroes, support heroes that attack the front row. And there are heroes that do that, just saying, okay? Level 10, 20% chance. Level 20, 30% chance. And then level 30 is 50% chance to gain a stack of Foxfire when a non-opposite front row enemy receives damage. Each stack of Foxfire grants 2% bonus armor penetration. Bro, we did all that damage reduction math just to have this pop up. Are you serious? So at 2%? Oh, goodness gracious, bro. Trinity from the future here. We're going to crunch some more numbers. Assuming her gear skill is to level 30, she has 15 Foxfire fireballs ready to go. She's going to max out at 100% armor penetration. And that means that will equal 50%, 50 damage reduction. As she uses the fireball, she's going to be losing her damage reduction. However, if you pair her up with a good team that gives damage reduction, Selena, any hero that has, or any S hero that has that, what's that thingy called that provides damage reduction? It's a holy praise item. Y'all know what I'm talking about, the crown or whatever. That's 18% right there when it's maxed out. So it's very easy to keep her at 50+% damage reduction at all times. And if you get her maxed up to 70% damage reduction, she's extremely OP. However, you have to have the correct team. I highly recommend getting her to level 30. But we'll talk about that in the end. Then level 40, in the duration of Fox Spirit protection, Avi gains additional 50% crit resistance. Ugh, it's kind of garbage. Okay, so with that being said, let's move straight into the runes. This video's gonna be like 27 minutes long already now. Now, first things first, I'm all about attack with her. From a free-to-play perspective, I would 100% without a shadow of a doubt go with Judgment. Yes, I think Judgment is the move. Yeah, that one sucks, by the way. Judgment is the move. And then, honestly, one perspective is the trio. I would go with Judgment, Annihilation, and Maniac. Yes, I think it's very, very crucial to get her crit up probably to 100%. I would say between 75 and 100% because her hitting a crit is detrimental to the enemy. One hero I don't like playing against in PvE is her because she gets a lot of Firefox stacks. And there's 15 coming at 2, 3, 4, 5 million damage a pop. Ain't nobody surviving that. Just saying. So I think getting her crit up is very, very crucial. Okay, now from another free-to-play perspective, you could slap on Judgment / Samurai. However, I will talk about that at the end of this video. Now from a pay-to-win version, y'all already know Judgment / Darkstep. Hands down, that is the combo. Yes. Man, oh, dude. Woof. Yes. That's all I gotta say is yes. Now moving on to armor. Y'all already know this is not what I want on her. However, attack. Now, when it comes to her crit and when it comes to her attack, I would 100% attack number 1 with crit as a huge emphasis. Unless her crit is lower than expected, then I would focus on crit first. And I just want to point this out. This is why you should watch my armor video, because I teach y'all how to correctly build armor. It's not just trying to get lucky and putting random attributes and T2 attributes on it. No. There's actually a specific way that benefits you in the future. And guess what? Yes, I have a full set of crit armor, which is it's triple critted out in each armor, which gives over, I don't even know, it's like between 40 and 60. You know what? Let's find it real quick. It was on Sparta. Okay, here we go. So
this whole world.
as you can see, we have 3. So this is 8% crit, and if I ranked up and put crit, that's plus 6, so 8, 14. So 14%. 14 times 4 is 56. That would be 56% crit just in the armor alone. Just saying, and I do have 4 pieces of armor that are T1 that are just strictly critted out between, I would say, between 8 and 12% a piece, not including T2 because I don't have any T2 stones to make them crit. However,
You have a secret to share with me?
Okay, I know I'm going way into too much detail, but it's worth it for y'all. Even those videos can be very long. Now moving on to the artifact list when it comes to Esper amulets. Honestly, I'm going to have to slap on Lava. I think Lava is the move. You keep her HP above 80%, put her in the back row, either the far left column or the far right column. Do not place her in the middle. I'm trying to tell you, do not place her in the middle unless the enemy outsmarts your strategy. And strategy, I mean by placing her in the middle, that means she's going to attack that first front row hero. And if it's someone like the Phoenix or Mafalda or any high HP hero, Dragonic with the Spirit Song, do not place her there because then she's going to be absolutely pointless. She won't be pointless, she just won't be as useful as you want her to be, which could give you the L. You have to identify what the enemy is going to do. And to make the Firefox chick, Foxfire, most useful, you're gonna have to take out that front row enemy first so you can get that big explosion in the back row. That is the secret. You're gonna wanna go for a low HP column. That is the goal. And usually it's either the left or the right. I've never seen a low HP hero in the middle column if the enemy knows what they're doing. Now when it comes to PvE, you can do whatever you want because you can see where the enemies are at. However, when it comes to PvP, know your enemy because placement with Avi is literally the difference between winning and losing, between getting slaughtered and slaughtering. It really is, okay? Now, moving on to, let's see, change. Is there anything else I'd put on here if you didn't have Lava Amulets? You could play it safe and play the long game, go with Shiny Amulet, but I really don't recommend that. Yes, you get the armor pen, but I don't think that's the move. You could do Icy because you get the attack and the crit. Not too bad. However, you might, as a free-to-play player, have that on Alvarez already, okay? Moving on to Holy Praise, we have is, I would do Sacred Splendor is the move if you plan on going +3 rounds. If you don't, then I wouldn't put it on her. And then, dude, there's not much you could put on her that's like extremely good, you know? So yeah, I'm gonna stick with that. And then moving on to the Abyss, oh my goodness, you could do Devil's Claw, you could do Vambrace, which I wouldn't recommend though. Devil's Lance would be a good one. And then I think the best one would be Devil's Bone Sword. Yes, I think this one is perfect for her. Besides Alvarez, this one is absolutely phenomenal for Avi, especially if you have a lot of heroes that do a lot of damage to the left and right sides where she gains Foxfire stacks. Okay, now I think moving on to the talents. Almost forgot. You already know when it comes to talent numero uno, legendary talents, Persistent Strike or Shadow Assault, depending on who's on the enemy battlefield. Moving on to mythic talents, 100% weak point, ignore that armor. However, if there's not that much armor on the battlefield, then I recommend Fatal Blow or Giant Killer. It all depends on the enemy, okay? Now when it comes to transcendent talents, I 100% recommend Wrathful Curse. I think that is the move, baby. 100%, nothing else. Then moving on to the fourth one, I would probably go with Violent Smash because getting a 50% chance to do 250% of attack as bonus damage is extremely high. Now, if you plan on going 3, 5, 6, 10 rounds, Soul Gaze is alright, or you could do Rapid Circulation, which is okay. I don't think Avi's built for going multiple turns in one. She's not. So I would go with Violent Smash. Okay. So with that being said, let's see what the game recommends. Tutorial. Okay, so they recommend Arcane Ring and then Devil's Bone Spike. I'm going to have to disagree with that simply because I guess you can always argue Arcane Ring, I guess, you know, whatever. But Devil's Bone Spike, there's just so many other good Abyss artifacts out there. Like, this is something you would put on there if this is all you have left and everything else has already been used. And then for towns, they recommend Precision Strike, good to go. Weak Point, good to go. Excess Heal, depends on the team. If you want to get that extra HP, you want to turn half that into a shield. It all depends on the support she has on the battlefield. And then Rapid Circulation, yeah. And then I understand Rapid Circulation if you have Samurai. I do agree with that combo. However, only that combo, and I think that's a very, very specific combo, which, yeah. And then they go with Armor Penetration, which I can agree, but I would go with the Trio or the good old Dark Stab. I know everyone has free Dark Stab right now if you've been playing Skyrim Realm for 4+ months. And we aren't complete yet. We're going to the gems. You think I forgot or something? Moving on to the Gem Codex. We're going to 1 star, baby. Now, so when it comes to this, you get 2 lights, 2 darks, and 2 whatever you want. I'm 100% when it comes to lights. I'm going to choose probably, oh, easy. Galaxy Stone, you get plus HP, plus attack, plus crit resistance. I think that is money. So I'll do 2 of those. And then when it comes to a Dark Stone, I would 100% slap on, ooh, man, Dragonstone, of course, but that one's impossible to get. And then, let's see, what would I choose? HP, I think I would go with skill damage. I'm thinking Cranestone, double Cranestone, get that double skill damage bonus and crit damage resistance. And then for the mix, ooh, man, this is a good one. I wouldn't worry about damage reduction because there's so many damage reduction perks out there from different heroes. I would probably go with something that increases attack. And then for the mix, I would go between Moonstone and Lotus Stone. Yes, beginning, you know, attack / armor. I actually would go with attack and block, which is the Lotus Stone. I think that would be money for her. I would double up on that. Too easy. Main reason why, the armor is fine, but there's so many heroes out there that ignore armor or ignore a huge percentage of armor. But when it comes to that block, let's go. Just saying. But yeah, that's what I would choose. So my final thoughts when it comes to Avi, I think she's absolutely phenomenal. However, even though she is a great hero, I don't think she's worth building right away. Honestly, I don't think she's worth building until probably 6 to 12 months in. And this is coming from a PvP or a pay-to-win perspective. If you're free to play, sorry to say, there's just too many other heroes I recommend focusing on. And just to put it in perspective, I am 1 year in on my free-to-play account, and I'm now just finishing up Natalie. I'm now just finishing up all the, you know, the main free heroes, you know, Fagin, Alvarez, the whole 9. And when it comes to branching out to these new S+ heroes, as a free-to-play player on my free-to-play account, I would not work on Avi at all. Yeah, just being honest. I think there's just so many other heroes to work on, like Selena, Natalie, Phoenix, and when you're free to play, you have very limited resources, and you have to be very, very specific on what you choose to do in the game. Hands down, hopefully y'all enjoy the video, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Greatness manifested.